In this podcast episode, Dr. Gabor Maté discusses the deep-rooted impact of childhood experiences on adult behavior, particularly our addiction to approval and the constant worry about how others perceive us. The conversation explores how early relationships shape our self-identity, the physiological effects of stress, and ways to break cycles of trauma. Throughout the dialogue, Dr. Maté invites listeners to engage in self-reflection and offers insights into compassionate inquiry and healing. Dr. Maté begins by addressing the common human preoccupation with external validation, explaining that when we are overly concerned with how others see us, we are essentially living in their minds instead of our own. This phenomenon is rooted in childhood, where being truly seen and accepted by caregivers is vital. When parents cannot see the child's authentic self, often due to their own limitations, the child learns to mold their identity to fit parental expectations. This need to be seen positively can lead to hiding parts of oneself or exaggerating others, ultimately creating an image based on who the parents want the child to be, rather than who they actually are. Echoing research by Bruce Perry, Dr. Maté emphasizes that human beings are essentially born for love, which includes an essential developmental need to be recognized and validated for who we are. This is not merely about how others feel for us, but whether they genuinely see us. When this fundamental need is unmet, it leads to a chronic internal struggle with self-acceptance, driving the lifelong quest for external approval. Without being truly seen in our earliest relationships, people spend much of their lives trying to fit a mold rather than embracing their true selves. The conversation turns to how difficult it is to love others fully when personal traumas and cultural pressures interfere. Dr. Maté explains that many parents and people struggle to see others as they truly are because of their own unresolved issues and the need for conformity within society. This limitation often results in dissatisfaction and perpetuates cycles where children continue adjusting themselves to fit external expectations, further complicating authentic connection and acceptance. When asked how one can stop passing trauma onto future generations, Dr. Maté highlights the importance of self-inquiry, questioning who we really are and whether we are living in alignment with ourselves or in reaction to others' expectations. This awareness often emerges during a midlife crisis, a moment when individuals reevaluate their lives. Healing requires curiosity and commitment to personal work, rather than merely trying to be better parents or partners. Addressing our own wounds and learning self-compassion are crucial steps to interrupt harmful patterns. Discussions delve into the pervasive internal narrative equating self-worth with productivity and external validation. Dr. Maté draws attention to a common belief that I am only valuable if I am busy, which keeps people trapped in unhealthy cycles of stress and self-judgment. He contrasts two essential introspective questions: have I done enough, and am I enough? While many can affirm the former, answering affirmatively to am I enough is much harder due to societal conditioning emphasizing worth through achievement. Addressing the challenge of cultivating self-acceptance when societal messages constantly equate worth with doing, Dr. Maté offers two key perspectives. First, he asks listeners to consider how absurd it would be to judge a newborn baby as not enough based on productivity, emphasizing that self-value is intrinsic. Second, he touches on cultural guilt around resting or taking breaks, rooted in a lifelong conditioning that equates doing with being. Understanding and challenging these ingrained beliefs can help individuals reclaim their inherent worth regardless of output. Dr. Maté traces the modern understanding of stress back to the early 20th century with Canadian researcher Hans Selye. Stress is described as a natural, adaptive response to threats, priming the body with adrenaline and cortisol. While acute stress is beneficial for survival, chronic stress harms the body by raising blood pressure, suppressing immunity, causing inflammation, and promoting disease, including depression and cancer. This physiological toll underscores how cultural values promoting constant busyness and stress literally make people sick. A practical avenue toward managing stress and reclaiming self-value lies in learning to say no. Dr. Maté encourages people to ask themselves where in their lives they are not saying no due to fear of disappointing others or being judged. This internal repression of boundaries is a common source of stress linked to chronic illness. Recognizing and honoring one's limits, especially in personal relationships and at work, is crucial for health and well-being. The conversation highlights how the ability to say no is foundational to developing a true self. This natural assertion emerges in toddlers as a way to establish autonomy and is essential before saying yes to anything meaningful. Society often mislabels this as the terrible twos, suppressing this natural boundary-setting behavior, which leads to adults who struggle to assert themselves. Relearning to say no compassionately and effectively is a form of healing and reclaiming agency. Dr. Maté introduces the therapeutic approach he helped develop called compassionate inquiry. It is based on the belief that no one is inherently wrong or broken. Rather, all behaviors are adaptations to life circumstances. This method helps individuals gently explore their inner truths, reconnect with feelings, and understand how early adaptations became entrenched limitations. Through compassionate self-questioning, individuals can heal and align more authentically with their true selves. Discussing trauma, especially intergenerational trauma among Indigenous communities, Dr. Maté encourages combining modern trauma work with the healing traditions of one's own culture. He describes how Indigenous practices such as chanting, drumming, and ceremonies offer deep connection and restoration. Embracing this wisdom not only supports individual healing, but also strengthens cultural continuity and resilience. When asked about the perceived contradiction between self-acceptance and the desire for self-improvement, Dr. Maté reframes the conversation by focusing on reaching one's full potential rather than self-judgment. He suggests shifting inquiry from "what's wrong with me" to "how can I reach my full potential?" This perspective removes blame and opens the path for growth that is compassionate and empowering. Addressing concerns about feeling too young or inexperienced to contribute meaningfully, Dr. Maté distinguishes feelings from beliefs and challenges limiting self-judgments. He invites applying the same kindness and confidence one extends to others toward oneself. People may judge, but that does not negate the validity of one's voice or contribution. Cultivating self-compassion and recognizing that age is not a prerequisite for wisdom can empower younger individuals to share their insights courageously. To close, Dr. Maté offers a guiding question: what is true for me? This lifelong inquiry invites continual reflection on authenticity and alignment with one's deeper self beyond external expectations. Pursuing this question nurtures self-awareness, connection, and healing.